City volunteers in Paraguay build new classrooms for Hope Elementary School in Ciudad del Este. Tzu Chi US Headquarters works with another NGO to deliver food and medical supplies to Sierra Leone once more. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Siri Su. Thank you for joining us. We begin today's program in Paraguay. In Ciudad del Este of Paraguay, Tzu Chi volunteers built an elementary school in 2003. Since the school has been accepting more indigenous students, Tzu Chi volunteers built 3 extra classrooms this year. On the day the classrooms were officially put into use, volunteers also gave out uniforms and stationery to the students. In addition, the volunteers held a winter aid distribution at the school, benefiting 128 families. The 3 new classrooms and 2 restrooms are now officially in use. In the meantime, a cycle of love has already been created by Tzu Chi volunteers at the school.
We told them about Tzu Chi's bamboo bank era and donated a lot of money. Our 3 coin banks are filled with their donation.
Tzu Chi volunteers have built this Hope Elementary School in Ciudad del Este in 2003. This year, the volunteers built another 3 classrooms since more children from Marisco Lopez tribe have come to study here.
We are grateful for Tzu Chi for helping us. With Tzu Chi's help, we can accept more students, giving them a more promising future. Let's give Tzu Chi a round of applause to show our gratitude.
Since the indigenous tribes still suffer from poverty, Tzu Chi volunteers have prepared uniforms and stationery for the children. In addition, they distribute 15 kilograms of food, blankets, and second-hand clothes to 128 families. Besides Tzu Chi volunteers, the people in volunteer vest have also experienced the joy of giving of themselves. While Muslims worldwide celebrated Eid al-Fitr, the Tzu Chi Indonesia chapter brought love and care to refugees in 5 different regions of Jakarta. A total of 86 refugees received blessings and gifts from Tzu Chi, which included Jingsi instant noodles, beverages, and rice.
20 Tzu Chi volunteers make their way to 5 different regions in Jakarta in one day to deliver gifts to international refugees for Eid al-Fitr.
People in Indonesia are so good. I hope that Tzu Chi will come again and visit us again.
In addition to delivering Jingsi instant noodles, beverages, and rice to the refugees, volunteers also bring them blessings.
Many times, just not only 1 time or 2 times, many times, and really we are grateful to them to see, because of that it shows us that still that we have many people who can help us still, and we thank it to them, and one day that we are sure that we will donate others as we will grow up or become a higher situation than for this current situation. Yeah.
Since 2016, Tzu Chi Indonesia chapter has been collaborating with United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees and Church World Service to assist international refugees.
Harapan saya untuk Tzu Chi sama CWS sendiri sama
My wish for CWS is to partner with Tzu Chi to provide assistance for refugees, as well as invite them to participate in some charity events. This will allow them to understand that when they receive assistance from others, they should not only receive it, but they should also repay this love to others.
After receiving the love and warmth from Tzu Chi, these refugees can now move forward and see a glimmer of hope in their life.
In Malaysia, a Rohingya refugee who was originally from Myanmar now lives in Johor Bahru. His left eye was injured by a 2-inch nail when he tried to fix his house door. Because of his serious injury, doctors suggest he receive treatment at a local hospital. However, he had no extra money to pay for the deposit, so he was refused treatment by the hospital. After learning about his situation, Tzu Chi volunteers in Kuala Lumpur and Selangor helped him pay the deposit, allowing him to receive the proper treatment.
This refugee is Hamid, who fled from Myanmar to Malaysia to make a living. When he fixed the door of his room in Johor Bahru, his left eye was injured by a 2-inch long nail. He endured the pain traveling more than 300 kilometers to seek medical assistance in Kuala Lumpur.
When I walk, I cannot see anything. My eye hurts and I cannot see anything.
As the suggestion of UNHCR, Hamid seeks medical consultation at the Kuala Lumpur Tzu Chi Free Clinic. With his serious injuries, doctors suggested he receive treatment at a hospital. However, having no extra money to pay a deposit, he was refused by the local hospital.
Although this patient has already arrived at this hospital, he was unable to receive treatment here. After learning about his situation, volunteers helped him pay the deposit so that he could successfully register for hospitalization.
He came after 3 days, looks like it's infected and the eye looks very inflamed. So if we leave the eye like that and without treated, probably it will be end up accumulation of pus inside the eye. It can spread to the brain. So it can cause serious problem to him.
With the care and company of volunteers, Hamid no longer feels lonely when seeking medical treatment in a foreign country.
My eye hurt and I couldn't see anything. I had no money, so I was afraid. You helped me a lot. Thank you very much.
After receiving treatment at the hospital, today he can finally see the world again, and he can count his fingers. As volunteers, we also feel very happy for him.
With the love of Tzu Chi volunteers, Hamid can finally reduce his worries and feel at ease. It is hoped that he can regain his health soon.
In Taiwan, Tzu Chi volunteers in northern Taiwan have initiated third cleanup effort of Mount Guanyin. With more than 1,300 residents participating, the cleanup team cleared out 11 tons of garbage. To ensure everyone's safety, Tzu Chi's emergency rescue team used climbing ropes on the mountain to protect the cleanup team members against falling. Many nearby shop owners have been impressed at how efficient Tzu Chi volunteers are in cleaning up the environment. As the volunteers begin their third cleanup of Mount Guanyin, they put their focus on the hillsides. To ensure everyone's safety, the emergency rescue team has fastened climbing ropes at 6:30 in the morning.
It is more dangerous holding on to other people's hands as one could fall. Therefore, we have fastened climbing ropes so that even if someone slips, they are still protected against falling by the ropes.
With the extra protection, the volunteers can dedicate themselves to digging out the trash.
A good deed can prevent future disasters.
The volunteers work with joy, although they've been soaked with sweat. The nearby shop owners are impressed that the piles of garbage is now gone.
Tzu Chi volunteers are truly amazing. Without their working in a sort of relay team, there is no way to remove these items.
Among the nearly 1,300 people who came, there are many young people. One of them, Li Renfu, who wears white pants, is filled with joy after completing the mission.
Our body is the most filthy. We can clean the dirt on us, even if we cannot get rid of the stain, as a mark of our hard work. Our work creates merit.
After 11 tons of garbage have been cleared out, the berry tree roots have finally been partially exposed again.
The tree roots have been partially exposed. The garbage was higher than me, and I am 180 centimeters tall. It feels quite amazing to see the tree roots being able to breathe again.
Having cleared out the garbage on Mount Guanyin, the volunteers are filled with joy, knowing they've returned the mountain to its original state. Since the Ebola outbreak struck West Africa's Sierra Leone in 2014, Tzu Chi US Headquarters has been collaborating with the Caritas Foundation and the Healy Foundation to provide aid supplies for the people in need. Recently, another NGO, Be More Prepared, has provided more than 400 boxes of food and medical supplies for Tzu Chi US Headquarters to deliver to Sierra Leone. The 20 square feet container is filled with food and medical supplies provided by the emergency rescue organization Be More Prepared.
What we did was, we're here today to trade a product that is going to be shipped overseas from the Tzu Chi Foundation, and in return, the foundation provided disaster blankets for the homeless, for the county of Los Angeles and the Muslim Ramadan. So this is a collaboration that we want to continue and work with.
Despite the heat, Tzu Chi volunteers do the inventory, labeling, and packing of the supplies that will be shipped by sea from the United States to Sierra Leone. You can choose to marry and whether or not to have children, but one cannot remain young forever, as aging is inevitable. When the family can no longer take care of an elderly person, nursing homes are a natural choice. With the declining population, this may become even more of a reality, as family structures are dramatically changing. Finding the right care service has become an important issue. A number of new care institutions have emerged, and they're starting to replace the role of families in providing elder care. Here's our report.
65岁独居，不过袂晓洗衫，袂晓煮饭的迄种长者，现在扩大，还有最新增加一项就是衰弱长者。
In the hospital, social workers are describing some of the benefits of the Long-Term Care Act 2.0 to the general public. Some companies are sniffing out major business opportunities for elder services. These containers are painted colorfully, much like a macaroon. This is Goldville, a new landmark in Taichung Salu district.
These shipping containers have been decommissioned by a shipping company, and our hope is to take these old things and make them good and useful. We want to take a new view of long-term care for the elderly.
Providence University hopes to combine social welfare services with medical services to create a new type of senior residence. In March of this year, it received approval for this project, which is expected to be completed within 2 years.
This covers an area about 9,000 square meters. We have used Japan's elder residence as a reference, and in particular, their focus on less rooms but more public amenities as a way for the elderly to feel more comfortable in a natural type of setting.
Within the park, there's a coffee shop to provide employment for elders and a way for them to pass the time. Residents may feel that they are in a 5-star hotel. This elder residence combines all the 3 issues of medical treatment, transportation, and leisure activities together.
After admission into this residence, it is easy for the elderly to seek medical treatment if they fall ill.
It's quite good because the planning allows elder people the chance to have a few activities and also learn something.
Planning for an elder care residence has also been reviewed positively by the market, with Guangtian Hospital establishing the Renqing Wellness Park in order to capitalize on this business opportunity.
11% of Taichung's population is elderly, and with about 40,000 being disabled. At our nursing home in Shalu, we have about 50 beds that have been full for the past few years.
Breaking the traditional concept of nursing homes, this facility in central Taiwan, when it opens, wants to include nursing home with a daycare center to create a sort of elderly-friendly facility. It also hopes to be a place for training and teaching for elder care professionals.
It can be used by those who live here or NGOs or institutions, or even family caregivers, as we'll have 8 classrooms. It can be used by residences or other groups, and also for students to take an exam.
With long-term care services becoming more common, more such locations have sprouted up. In northern Taiwan, there's the Changgung Health and Culture Village, Shuanglian Elderly Center, and Renfu Senior Center. In central Taiwan, there's the Renqing Wellness Park, and in southern Taiwan, there's the Yuzhen Retirement Center. However, these services don't come cheap.
If I've prepared 660,000 in pension, this doesn't take into consideration medical care, which can cost a lot, or housing. In fact, within 10 years, this may not be enough. And with modern medicine progressing, we can live much longer.
Returning back to government benefits, when the government's Long-Term Care Act 2.0 officially goes into effect, there'll be more costs to care for pension benefits, and the current tax may need to include progressive type of insurance. According to the draft legislation, the legislature could enact it by 2018.
如果做了保险，那也有机构给付，也有现金给付的话，对我们的社区。
If you do insurance and some institutions also pay cash, then our community services can rise up and maybe become an obstacle because these two different items are quite different. People won't be given such an easy choice or opt for community services.
The government's resources are very important, but when the situation is very serious and important, we always end up waiting for the government, and it will eventually drag out longer than expected. So we should begin by starting from a self-pay concept.
Taiwan's revised Long-Term Care Act is beginning to explore new territory. Japan and Nordic countries also have an aging population, which can serve as some inspiration and a guide to Taiwan as it seeks to take the best possible care for its elderly population.
Tzu Chi entered Sichuan Chengdu in 2009 when the local China Disabled Person Federation provided a place for Tzu Chi as a recycling point. Over the past few years, many communities in this area have been practicing recycling. Follow our report as we learn how the Xinhua community carried out their recycling mission.
This is 68-year-old Zhang Qi, who is moving the store out and preparing to sort recyclables. With the invitation of Tzu Chi volunteers, she started to do recycling since 2013. She feels surprised that she has changed a lot over the past years.
I used to play cards in the park all day, so when I sat, my belly might look like this big. After doing recycling, I have become much thinner.
Zhang does recycling every Thursday at the recycling points on Hongxin Road. On weekends, she sorts recyclables along with her 20 neighbors in the Xinhua community where she lives. Yang Yueguang, who used to scavenge for a living, also loved this work because he is quite familiar with it.
In the beginning, they didn't bundle the pile of cardboard tightly, so I helped them bundle it. I also spent some time collecting cardboard for them to do recycling.
Each time, these recycling volunteers start to do recycling at 2 p.m., which would last for 5 to 6 hours. Some volunteers may prepare dinner for them after sunset to thank them for their hard work.
It helps bring these bodhisattvas close together when they gather to enjoy dinner. They can also share everything and exchange ideas with one another. This way, it will help invite more people to join them.
Volunteers have to personally deliver these resources, which they have sorted out to a recycling enterprise to sell them.
When we sell these resources by ourselves, the money we earn is more than when the recycling enterprise comes to collect the resources from us. So every time I may deliver them by myself here and sell them. I never ask for a bargain. I've learned a lot from Tzu Chi, which also makes my life more colorful.
The recycling mission in the Xinhua community has been carried out since 2010. Over the past 7 years, this recycling volunteers' dedication has won many shop owners' support. This not only impresses many community residents, but also helps invite more people to join this effort.
In Malaysia, Selangor, one Tzu Chi recycling station is open 2 nights a week for the people in the community to do recycling together. Those who volunteer are of different ages and come from all walks of life. Among them is a volunteer who drives a fancy van to collect recyclables and invite others to join the volunteers' ranks.
For 2 nights every week, people of all ages come to this recycling station in Bukit Juratong, Shah Alam, to sort all the recyclables.
A feature of this station is that many children and elderly people would come and give of themselves.
Volunteer Liu Yuzhong drives this colorful and fancy 40-year-old van to collect recyclables. He also drives his neighbors to do recycling.
My friends borrowed this from a friend of mine. He was very kind. I told him that I needed a car to collect cardboard boxes. Fortunately, he wasn't using it, so he lent it to me. I then drive it to pick up recyclables and also his family and his neighbors to do recycling.
Doing recycling brings people close to each other.
We're very grateful to them because not only does it educate the Bukit Jelutong folks that we have to recycle, all right, and we still have to educate them because a lot of them don't really sort out their recyclables when they come and dump it here.
Volunteers hope more people can join them to do recycling and to keep the earth clean.
In Taiwan, Tzu Chi volunteer Wang Weiliang is 80 years old and he draws for 4 to 5 hours at a time without feeling tired. When he started drawing, he worried that his drawings do not look realistic. Fortunately, his teacher used Jingsi aphorisms to encourage him to open his heart and find the joy in drawing. Now he enjoys the simple joy of drawing and may eventually hold his own drawing exhibition.
Wang Weiliang wears his reading glasses when drawing. Normally a drawing would take him 4 hours, but when it comes to a more complicated piece, it could take a day or 2.
Normally, when I start drawing, I felt that my spirit is fully engaged. I even forget about the time, which seems to go by faster as I don't think about anything else.
When he's not drawing, he will either be sitting in front of the TV or watching TV. He doesn't have his own activities besides volunteering for Tzu Chi.
To a beautiful heart, everything appears beautiful. Look at this thing you drew. It is gorgeous.
Learning to draw and incorporate wisdom, Wang Weiliang's teacher encourages him to draw his inner thoughts and to draw without limits, similar to the initial joy of drawing as a child.
When he started to draw, he would be stubborn on the appearance and skill he has, so we share some of our wisdom with him. Drawing has no boundaries.
Outside of his drawing hours, Wang Weiliang actively volunteers to visit the poor and elderly. He also participates in book reading sessions. His sons and daughters plan a drawing exhibition for him as an 80-year-old birthday gift. They encouraged him to use drawing to form good affinities with others.
Tzu Chi Liaison Office in Cerritos of California recently held a President's Volunteer Services Award ceremony to honor students with commitment to service. At the occasion, Tzu Chi volunteers also asked the students to praise their peers for their strength and outstanding performances. We will leave you with these images at the end of our program. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye.